would like to talk about topic LEAD. Identification of building construction project management in Lao PDR. Case study, central part of Lao PDR. Background information and statement of problem. Background information. The construction industry is rapidly growing, especially projects in special economic zone and specified economic area in every part of the country. Building construction is crucial, and because of repairs goal is increased, the need for both foreign and domestic investment. To the fact, construction companies are required to be prepared in order to meet the project goal and achieve the highest quality according to plan of the project. Some projects are economic zone. Statement of problem. A major ratio of projects are rapidly to suggest due to the standard of constructing which are developed from knowledge of the flowing reach from factor of the project financial reach from scarcity of equipment, tool and machine used in constructing reach from human resource and constructing management reach from external factors which are controllable factors, especially the leasing price of petroleum construction equipment reach from the economy and repair, climate change, causing natural disaster, tsunami, storm, floods, and others, impacting the property of construction equipment sources. Since then, there were several small projects that were able to mature and has not yet met the standard, which is result from inadequate working capital, insufficient economic knowledge, no much experience, unskilled labor, forcing managers to undergo to complete in managing projects on time and qualify as mentioned in the contract. Research objective: discover and identify risk associated with building construction project management in Lao PDR. Find a solution to prevent possible risk to improve the management of building construction project in the central part of Lao PDR. Research scope and methodology. Scope of location: the central part of Lao PDR includes Soukanh province, Vientiane capital, Khamphanh, and Soukanh province. Specific study field in range of managing building construction project. Sample of population, engineer and project in construction company whom education standards are not lower than diploma degree. Study specifically on observing academician perspective and experience only which will not be relevant to the project. Literature review. Recent project leach management in Hong Kong is research about main leach occurs in managing construction project in Hong Kong which mention leach. That's what relay in those projects were 1. Detail of the design were deficient and incorrect as the most significant leach. 2. Condition of underground area in the location of construction as the second most significant leach. 3. Estimation naming time planning based on fueling and suitable equipment purchase planning as the most efficient method in preventing leach. 4. Transferring leak is an inefficient leach prevention, especially in cases that cause major loss if leach were to be transferred to contractor in terms of lacking ability to prevent loss leach. 5. Increasing the quality of labor or equipment is the most efficient method on mitigating the effect on delay construction. พิรยุทธ์เรียกวงศา This a study about leach managing in the capital power station project in Thailand. Reservoir top 3 important leach include civil construction, outsourced contractor, financial situation, and the economy. Most important response to leach of the study includes expert use to decrease leach and transfer them. Intensive study about leach management and applying in project that use starter contact using the case study of the Territorial project in Taiwan study reservoir. The most important leach factor is the location of construction and leach of action. B. Leach management will focus on decrease the probability of the leach occurrence and the quality of the construction will increase depending on identifying and evaluating leach as a system. C. Using leach management system in project includes identifying leach, analyzing leach, and respond to leach which help manager limit or decrease the probability of important leach in advance. So what formally study about leach management or the public utility system in Thailand reservoir 3 most important internal factors that contain the most leach are project owner adjusting their need for project, lack of financial liquidity, and damage equipment and machine from overseeing, and 3 external factors include type of Territorial tool and equipment and climate change. Methodology for preparing document and research that are relevant. Research interview academicians and experts about knowledge they have faith and will faith to apply in creating the questionnaire and distribute and collective questionnaire and capture the data using Microsoft Excel in calculating the mean and standard deviation. Analysis using 2 basic factors and 65 sub-factors to present knowledge that may occur along with solutions in resolving or reducing them. Result of the research reach significant from 1 to 20. Conclusion: reach significant from 1 to 12 causes of leak and mitigation. Basic factor, internal factor, percent of issue that have only over 3.5. For internal factor, personal and worker 40%. Finance and budget 66.67%. Construction method and technique 20%. Construction equipment and machine 22.22%. Construction project management 25%. External factor 28.57%. Recommendation in decreasing leakage. Check the financial status of the company before the action. Create a criteria in payment for the owner of the project in contact. Use minor contractors who are experts of each duty. Check the quality of blueprint. It is recommended to create a risk management plan in every activity in construction project. Allocate resource efficiently with the construction plan. Search for equipment source and create a network. Appoint coordinator during construction. Assure peace and suitable welfare for the construction. Give recommendation. Government project management sector can use the data in use, designing company, contractor and consulting, designing and constructing company can use the data in this study to improve the management of building construction project. Individuals who are interested for future research can rely on the data given in the study, develop their understanding and improve the managing of building construction project and are advised to carefully study in very and kind of construction. Thank you for your attention.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you for your introductions. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Director General of Department of Transport in the Ministry of Public Road and Transport. So my name is Khamphanh. I'm from Department of Public Roads and Transport in Vientiane Territorial. Responsible for the Vientiane Sustainable Urban Transport Project and project managers. So from now on, I'd like to share my, not mine, but the government projects in Vientiane. So I hope all of you here will have some new ideas and we together develop, especially the infrastructure development project in Vientiane capitals. So I can say that this project is under the design stage. The project is just conducted the consultation meetings last week to review the preliminary design. So one of our distinct guests is already here, Dr. Bounta. So he already aware this project very well. As you may know, Vientiane is similar to other cities where we are facing the traffic congestion. You cannot ignore in this city that we are facing the real problem similar to developing countries or big cities like Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and so on. So this project is aimed to update the quality of life of the people in the Vientiane capital by introduce and this kind of the public transport project aimed at reductions of the traffic congestion, environment issues. So this project is compliant with the three visions of nations strategies like zero pollution, zero congestion, and zero accidents. Our project consists of 5 components, or you may call sub-projects as well. But today, I'm proud to present you only the second component, the urban transport service and BRT system. BRT stands for Bus Rapid Transit. As well as I will talk a little bit about the traffic management and NFT, non-motorized transport. Or somebody else may know they call last mile connectivity to transportation. I believe some slide I will jump and I will use technique from Dr. Vientiane so I hope you can follow. And then this project consists of many financiers, but mainly we got a loan and grant from ADB, PIB, and overseas donors. As well as we get the contribution from Lao government, about 50%. Totally, we have almost 100 million US dollars. So the project executing agency is Ministry of Public Works and Transport. That's why I'm today talking and presenting to you. Then we have IA. IA is implementation agencies. Now I'm here, the project coordination unit, like project director and project managers. From now on, I would like to introduce purely VIP system. So based on the government approval, now the BRT corridor, we have the totaling about 13 kilometers, starting from Park, running throughout the city centers, passing to the Bounta and running north, and finally stop at your main gate, the University of Laos. Then here you can see the number of stations. I just roughly introduced, but in more detail you can later reach me or visit our ministry website. Its information also available there. The BRT services plan, we have three generations plan. As we have the dedicated lane for BRT or specific lane for BRT. Then we have mixed traffic, and then we have part of BRT and general buses can running by throughout this corridor or neighborhoods. Here you can see some of the road network. I just show some part of our projects. Here I show you the diagram and the station names. Please understand that, as I mentioned earlier, we are on in the starting stage, preliminary design. So that's why the station name and others information not yet approved. Here I'll show you some figures. The estimated ridership from 2022 to 2027 and 2032. From 2022 and then 10 years later, 2032. So in recently, you may know that the proportion of public bus, just only 0.6% of mode share to others traffic, means almost 70% is motorcycle, and then car, pick up, and finally we just have 0.6 at present. So we target to have 10% in the 10 years later. But from the estimation from project consultants, we could reach to almost 15% in the future if we have good arrange and services. This is just show you the ridership every stations, so you may not much interesting. And here you are. as I said, we have 35 stations, so we divide in different categories, architectures. Later I will show you some pictures, the design pictures. We have architecture engineers working with us, both international and nationals. So my friend is just doctoral from Vietnam, and then he contributed in this project as well. So you can see how it looks like and complement or align with the Lao cultures and societies. We put each station into each location. This is for just example, the visualized aspect. Here, who knows this station is here? Where? Somebody knows? This is just next to the French embassy. Intersection of the French embassy and the Home Affairs. It may be look like this, but we will finalize it here. Here we have station near the National Home Meeting Halls. Again, so this project will apply the latest technologies. We try to make our services and payment system very advanced. We will use smartphone and we will apply the cashless systems. Then in the busy station, we will have the gate to control the passengers moving and gathering to the service or the VIP buses. And then I will show you some bus depot. Bus depot called Bounta, and this station and control centers. Here you are, we are up here, and then we have one bus depot as planned. We plan to build the depots at the Southeast School, but we face some challenge with government that we will discuss tonight. Here you can see how arrangement buses and station. So we apply the IPS technology to control the services of bus running and services between daily from 5:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Here's some technical information about buses. I could say and let you know, the government promote and the government policy is promote the electricity. So this project will apply the electric bus for BRT. Then you can see how the arrangement, the IT technology and so on. To be able confirm our traffic will be improved, so we need to improve the traffic. Then this project will, develop the intersection, especially the traffic light in 14 intersections. Then in the peak hour, we will have traffic police, as you know. It's very, conservative in Vientiane. Please give me a few minutes more. Here, we have also provided parking management in the project areas, allowing you to have parking space because you need to park and go. On the other hand, you can park, you can say park and rise. So you park and go, join, let join. And then I just want to raise with other people, everyone here, the last mile connectivities. This project will introduce the latest technology and apply with the very unique tricycle or pedal, like some law in previous years. This vehicle will serve the passengers between station to station, from village to station. We can say as this will serve as the feeder. Here it look like. We are doing improve the design. So this project apply the IEE. We very careful about the environment issue. And then we will promote the social development and gender. Especially, we will have facilities for elderly, disabled children, as well as we will promote and support the driver in women, female, not just in men. So you are welcome in future. Let me conclude this. Aside from our implementation, we still face some challenge, especially the financing from government contribution, frankly. And then our design is behind schedule. Already 2 years it is. So we have to speed it up and match the target. For more information, you can visit and email to me as available on this video. Thank you very much.
Merci, monsieur. Merci, monsieur. Merci, monsieur Khamphanh VANTHANA, qui nous a fait sur le transport, le transport durable dans le cadre de vie de Vientiane. Et maintenant, on passe à la dernière présentation de monsieur Thanousorn, VONGPRASEUTH. Le sujet est Body Mass Index and Automobile Dependency in the Vientiane capital. Now, People's Democratic Republic.
Well, very good afternoon, everyone. I'm Thanousorn VONGPRASEUTH from Faculty of Architecture, National University of Laos. I am also as a co-chairman with Dr. Lin. Today I would like to inform you some kind of information after this session. Because we have some kind of meeting, some kind of networking meeting after this session. So we would like to invite you to the meeting session at the Faculty of Architecture. At the AUFREF in French, right? Okay. Maybe our staff or our faculty member will take you to that center. Don't worry about that. Return to my research topic in terms of body mass index and automobile dependency in the central area of Vientiane, capital city. Actually, as the last presenter has said that we face some kind of problem from the traffic congestion and blah blah blah. And then I would like to research about what is the bad meaning of the traffic condition and also the automobile dependency as well. So I'm gonna go through the contents of my presentation. First one is introduction. Second one is I'm gonna go through the literature review. And the third one is mode choice, that means the most model spirit. And then the fourth one is body mass index, and the fifth one is analysis, and the last one is conclusion for the implementation in the future. So first of all, we would like to introduce in terms of SDG. The previous 5 years ago, we consumed in terms of MDG, but this one we have to understand in terms of SDG, because SDG is the Sustainable Development Goal in the future. So many countries try to understand in terms of urban development, in terms of health condition, and also many factors that interact with the Sustainable Development Goal. So you will see that here is the main point of I'm going to talk about this presentation. The first one is we are in terms of planning, in terms of transportation planning. So we try to promote in terms of planning how to meet the sustainable development and sustainable city as well. The second one is we would like to understand in terms of health quality, health condition of population who live in the city area. So from the problem of Lao here and also in many countries around the world, we face the problem of congestion, traffic congestion, and then it's become to the problem of disease that called obesity. Everyone understand that obesity is some kind of you are fat and then you get easily to receive some kind of bad disease. And then in Lao PDR also, so far we found that from the Ministry of Health, high percentage of population who go to hospital, that means patient, they got some kind of obesity in higher percentage from the past 5 years. From the statistic in 2018. So this one is really important, a message that we have to understand. So from this point, in our research, we would like to combine two factors between transportation planning and health condition of population in the city area to be the one of phenomenal in terms of development in the future. So this one is our scope of planning and research. We would like to take into account in terms of the core center area of Vientiane capital city, maybe offset from the center area maybe 5 kilometers and 10 kilometers. From the literature review, because we have no, it is rare to find the research regarding the body mass index and bioenvironment and body mass index and also the transportation factor. So this one is the priority research in Lao PDR. So I have reviewed so many kinds of research topics in international level. For example, many researchers try to focus in terms of obesity and effect to the health problem, and also obesity causes by many factors regarding the physical activities. So some researchers mentioned that people get into the car in the long-term distance, and then they will get the body fat and body obesity or something like this. So in this case, we would like to test in Laos what is the meanings of body mass index that affect to the transportation mode choice or automobile dependency. Here is the purpose of mode choice. Every day we know that, for example, student every day you can go from your house to the school, and then you have another activity to go. But the trip end, they call trip end. It means one way from school to your house. And then for the commuter who worked maybe for the governmental sector and for the private sector as well. We can see there's the more choice proposed from homes to the work area, from school, from home to school, from home to shopping, from home to another area. So people need so complicated to understand with the more choice, especially in Lao PDR. We can spread that in another country, for example, in European country and in US country as well. The mode choice, they divided into things. First one is a motorized mode, and second one is a non-motorized mode, and also they can skip from one mode to another mode. That means diversity of mode. So how about in Lao PDR? What is the main choice for Lao PDR? What is the main mode choice for Lao people? So it is the main idea of this research. After that, we conduct in terms of survey from the real sites in Vientiane capital, for example, nearby Dong Dok. And second one is nearby ITEC. That means we would like to know what kind of transportation that Lao people use the most, or what kind of time that they consume that kind of transportation. So we can see that the main modes in Lao PDR, that means first one is car. They use private car rather than public transportation, because as Rad Pisandra has said that only 0.0 something like this for the bus service in public transportation. So the second one is we can see that individual modes of motorbike for low income people and medium income people. This one take into account in this research, and this one also the statistic from the Department of Public Work and Transport 2018. We also found that the highest percentage of mode, that means the motorbike and then car. The second one is car. Here is very important, and it's like a risk to be planned in the future. So in this picture, very interesting picture. So if you show in Facebook, you will see that somebody said that I am bad because I am fat. So nobody loves me because I am fat. It's not true, because actually the body mass index relates to your body, your health condition. So you have to consider in terms of condition of your health rather than something appearance. Here is, oops, I have to censor something here because maybe our student lower than 18, I have to censor that. So this one is the formula for the body mass index. If you would like to know how much for your body mass index, then you can go to your smartphone and then put down BMI, then you can calculate your body mass index. So this one is the list of body mass index. For example, this one is obesity, this one is overweight. So how about you? You can try, you can test yourself. Maybe you guys here, oh, I don't know, okay. So in terms of analysis, we try to skip up to the personal information and the household information, and as well the transportation information of the interview. This one is some kind of means and minimax to find out the characteristic of our sample. So jump to the first test of the research. We try to focus in terms of age and the body mass index. We can see that very interesting that the first one is bigger than 40 and then higher body mass index, and then how about the 30 and 35, something like this, quite high in terms of the index of body. This one also focus in terms of gender female and male. Then we can find that male have the higher body mass index rather than female. Here is we use the model economic trickle model to identify the meanings of body mass index and relates to the transportation mode choice. Oops, sorry. So we can see that the age, exactly, we can find a significant level from the height age of sample. That means relate to the high body mass index. And also here we can see that who use motorized or motorbike and car also faced with the body mass index in higher magnitudes. So very important that we can see that every day I drive to school, every day I drive to work, but what happened with me? So this one is the list of you stay in long term for the transport modes that you choose. So in terms of conclusion, I would like to state some message for this research. For example, this one in the context of Vientiane capital city, we would like to promote in terms of non-motorized mode, because if we focus in terms of car,
what I'm going to present today is a discussion paper on regional integration and its or its impact to the planning transformation of the planning system in Laos. We all know that we are in the age of globalization. Our world has transformed from a closed economy to open economy, transformed from fragmented market to more integration market, and transformation from protectionism to more open globalization. So many countries, many economy or market working together, cooperate together to gain benefit from sharing economy. But my questions here are how the globalization or regional integration transform our cities, and how the economic thoughts, especially the open economy, will have impact on spatial planning theory, especially in the context of Laos. In 1933, an economist proposed a theory of central place. This theory describes how the city grows. The city located in the center location has more potential for growth, and those in the remote area will have less opportunity or less competitive advantage. Oops. But recently, in 1980s, thanks to Paul Krugman, a Nobel Prize economist, he proposed a new trade theory that facilitates cross-border or regional cooperation in economy. And our region has also this influence. In ASEAN community, we have master plan for ASEAN connectivity, master plan until 2025, particularly in the GMS countries. We have GMS economic corridors master plan. As you can see, Laos, look at here in the center, we are a landlocked country, but this vision of regional integration will transform our country from the landlocked one to land link. As you can see here, each line represents one economic corridor. The red line is north-south economic corridor, starting from Kunming, China, to pass through Laos in Bokel province, and then cross the border to Thailand and connect to Malaysia and Singapore at the south. And we have also the east-west economic corridor connecting Da Nang, Vietnam to Savanakhet, to Phitsanulok and to Davai in Myanmar. And other economic corridors is now underdeveloped, especially this one, the green line. There are high-speed railways from Kunming of China to China-Lao border and pass through Luang Prabang and come down to Vientiane and cross border, connecting to the seaboard at nearby Bangkok, Lam Chabang. And in another framework of regional cooperation, we have Lansang Mekong River Cooperation, which include Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, Vietnam, Thailand, and also China. This cooperation framework aims to facilitate the regional cooperation of countries along Lansang Mekong rivers, starting from the north to the south in Vietnam. So in the region, there are, as you can see, there are many cooperation frameworks covering different fields of economy and socio-economic development, particularly in infrastructure, connectivity, for example, the transportation and energy grids. There have been many agreements on this. And in terms of economy, as I showed you a while ago, we have trans-border economic corridor, East-West economic corridor, North-South economic corridor, and others. And also in terms of biodiversity, there has been a project, some projects studied by the ASEAN Development Bank, the proposed trans-border biodiversity corridor. That means our regional integration is not only cover the economic aspect, but also the social and environmental aspect also. So how this economic thought, the open economy, will impact the spatial planning theory? I pick up 3 keywords that for our discussion. First is the transition in spatial for cities in the context of regional integration, how our city will be transformed in the future, affected as impact of the regional integration. And the second is how the complex city of regional integration will what matters or what issues we need to take into account when we plan cities in the future. And when the trans-border trade has been facilitated, then the city needs to adapt to how the city can adapt themselves to this concept of trans-border trade. So in general, before we plan our city in the intra perspective, we look at the city as isolated one, but in globalization, regional integration era, we cannot look at the city only itself. For example, Vientiane, we have neighboring cities like Nong Khai, we have Vang Vieng, and some satellite cities around Vientiane. So as a nation as well, Laos is, when we are a landlocked country, but as my topic proposed is Laos will transform from landlocked country to a landlinked country. Now here it shows location of border immigration office. The blue one is international immigration office, and the red one is local one. When we look at the city to adapt itself to cross-border trade, the city needs to plan for logistic facilities. It needs to plan for infrastructure connectivity. As we can see, there are some logistic parks, special economic zones in Vientiane capital and in Savanakhet and other places still being planned. In terms of spatial transformation, we can learn from other countries. For example, in China, they start open their economy and they start to develop a pilot special economic zone in 4 provinces along the east coast. For example, what we well known is Soukanh here. So that's the first stage. They start from 4 pilot sites or pilot cities at the first stage. And the second stage, they develop other special economic zones along the east coast. So it connected that 4 dots into lines along the coast. And the third stage, they developed from the line to western side of the territory of China. So they make grid of transportation to connect. So it start from points to lines and then oops. And then it becomes a plane, a network of economic hub. Sorry. Maybe the computer is tired. He needs some sleep. Oops. So now we come up to Vietnamese Vietnam national special strategy. In Vietnam, they have two major city clusters. One in the north, having Hanoi as the center, and the other one is in the south. And according to this strategy, it connect to westward, connecting to Laos and Thailand and Myanmar in the Mekong region. And this is a special structure plan for Hanoi region. And in Thailand, they also have a national special strategy, having Bangkok as a center, and they have the main economic corridor connecting to neighboring countries, like this one connecting to Cambodia, and this one pass through Savanakhet in Laos and go to Da Nang in Vietnam, and this one also. I show some neighboring countries' special strategy as would like to address that when we plan our cities, even our city is located in Laos, but we need to take into account the special strategy from neighboring countries. As for example, if neighboring country they plan their economic special economic zones at the border, so we need to analyze that plan as it is opportunity or threats for our cities. In terms of the planning system, in Laos, we do have a existing planning system, especially the 5-year socio-economic development plan. But in terms of spatial planning, according to the law, we have urban planning at national level, at provincial level, at city level, and the specific zone or village level. But in reality, no such spatial planning exists. What we have is urban master plan for cities only, and some detailed plan for villages. We are now on the stage, on the process of developing that kind of plan. But at provincial level, now most province in Laos doesn't have the special strategic plan yet. So that's what we need to develop from now on. And what I show here is example of Thailand. They have a strategic plan or structure plan at policy level, at provincial, national level, and they have a comprehensive plan at city level, and they have the detailed plan at project level or village level. This is how to say, scale. Talking about scale from national level to provincial to district and to village level. But now when we come up with the sector dimension, in Laos we have many plans for different sectors. Like we have green growth strategy, we have a climate change strategy, we have education development strategy, we have tourism development strategy, and each sector has their own strategic plan at national level. But in provincial level, that sector plan has developed and adapt to the provincial geography and socio-economic condition. But the problem is at the district level and village level. In most cases, when the district socio-economic plan is bring to implementation, there has problem with land allocation for development projects, as that's because of no special planning at district level exists. So our recommendation is we need to develop the systematic spatial planning from national level to provincial and district level and down to village level. Okay, time's up. So I better stop my presentation. Okay, thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup, Dr. CHITHPANYA. Qui nous avez donné le portrait à la fois général et taillé perspective de présence et de gestion de planification territoriale dans le contexte d'intégration